So that's the Starlink, and it isn't working.
Morning, boss. Let's get to work.
Yes, brother.
I'm Jamie Crawley, younger brother of Fergus, and for Project TENacity, I was sort of the second man within the support team, helping Chris, who was the logistics lead, just with the sort of day-to-day support to help Fergus get through each day.
So day one of the project began in, I guess, our home city of Edinburgh. Fergus started in the Commonwealth pool, which went really well. It was a bit, I guess, nerve-wracking for everyone that the project had started.
Ed, how is Fergus getting on at the moment?
Really good. He looks really, really strong. Running really well. Seems to just, legs are absolutely fine. It's quite impressive, to be fair. The weather's fantastic. We're all enjoying ourselves. Hopefully every day is like this for the next 10 days.
Day one was a very positive day, but as I said, if it wasn't, then we'd have had a very miserable 9 days to come. But no, overall, all good. And then after that, it was then a bit of food on board in the cars to Glasgow for the day two.
I was in bed. Oh. I wasn't involved. No, I wasn't in bed. I was seat belted into a seat.
I think it's an M&S 348, which is a staple.
Okay, so the Starlink isn't working. It's on the roof. Do you want to show them, Tom? So that's the Starlink, and it isn't working. And this YouTube video that you're watching is why we need the Starlink to be working. Good save, not really. So whenever you're watching this, we've obviously found a solution, but we right now, need to find a solution. And Chris is reporting back that, let me guess, council Wi-Fi is really poor.
Yeah, they don't have Wi-Fi.
They don't have Wi-Fi.
They do, but they may as well not.
Didn't load up the phone.
We're making content about content.
Me and Jamie actually travelled back to Edinburgh on the first night to upload footage, and then drove back through to Glasgow for an early start. For the beginning of day two.
The actual venues themselves, so the swim, bike and run on each day, once they were actually booked and confirmed, it was then actually quite easy because we weren't doing big sort of like A to B routes where Fergus was on the bike for a whole distance on an open road, like it was all quite closed off. I think the biggest logistical concern was just all the time around the travelling, the driving, sort of obviously the cut-off periods, not just from the actual doing the event itself, but also making the ferries, the sort of window between when we can get sleep and just how that all works.
I ordered that yesterday at 3:30 p.m.
The only stress that day, which appeared kind of early on, was making that Belfast ferry. I think logistics-wise, we thought we were comfortable before the project began, and then as time went on, the bike took a little bit longer, we started to worry as to whether we were going to make it. And thankfully, we did, which was good, but we were definitely very close in terms of time.
Hold these. Ready? I'm going to climb to the top. That's quite scary when you get past the first step.
That was actually pretty sick.
You've got to let go as soon as you lose it. That first one was actually really good.
Sleep situation. So I think I'm going to sleep in the back of the truck, which is a truck bed. The major flaw in this decision is I can't let myself out. There's no latch from the inside.
Just give me a buzz when you need that.
So if I do need a pee, let's say, that could be quite problematic. However, it might be the only option.
Quite action in the pool. I didn't expect this today. I thought today was going to be the worst day, barring day 5.
We had Tom, who is Omnia's nutritionist, come and join us, which was really good crack. Nice to see a different face, and also cool to see him, interact with the people that were there, not only taking part or stopping by, but Fergus as well.
No problem.
What are you up to now, Tom?
Topping up big man's electrolyte and carbs. So there's going to be about 40 grams of carbs in that bottle. Perfect. So 4 scoops, like 40 grams of carbohydrate in there, with about 1,000 milligrams of sodium in kind of 750, 800 mils of fluid. Shake up, keep the big man moving.
There is like a little kind of retail park about 20 minutes away. There's like a Nando's.
I'll do an Nando's. Yeah. Yeah,
You
agreed.
can order Nando's to collect, can't you? So we could order it now.
Okay, let's do that.
By
Yeah.
the time you get there, you can do it.
Solid.
So yeah, Omnia essentially sponsored Project TENacity and funded the whole project and helped with the logistical side of things, the planning side of things, the media side of things. At its heart, Omnia is essentially the business Fergus founded, which aims to transform lives through fitness and adventure and help people find their mission through movement, through training and physical exertion and reaching their ambitious goals. So we provide online coaching to essentially help people in their own Project TENacity, and whatever that challenge, whatever that training journey people want to go on, we essentially have the team of people and the expertise in-house to help people work towards that.
That was ominous. Is that a gun? What we're looking at here? Oh, it's a camera, that makes more sense.
He would have just died. Transition from asleep to dead without knowing.
I got a barbecue chicken burger and I'm very excited. I've not had a chicken burger in a while.
Did man ruin your shop by going? Sorry, bro.
Get a quad in.
Why did that happen?
Because we were filming at the side of the van, at the side door, and this man was driving. We were driving safely and legally, and this man has a manual usually and uses his left foot accidentally to brake and sends me flying into the back seat from the back cab into the front. I smashed my face on the headrest. I've smashed my leg, hence the bruise.
My lobster's too buttery. What's the point, mate?
Love's too buttery.
Your lobster's too buttery.
What?
Your lobster's too buttery.
Your lobster's too buttery.
That's literally a saying.
Is it? I've never heard that.
Well,
What does it mean?
you know, my steak's too tasty, my lobster's too buttery, my girl's too beautiful, woe is me, life's hard, mate. Like,
I think you need to go to bed.
I've not heard this. It's a very common saying.
The first 2-3 hours of the run were relatively uneventful. That was until we had to move off the athletics track due to a bit of a clash in timings, I think, because we were overrunning and there was usual groups on. So Fergus finished his Manchester run running up and down a path, a little canal side path, I believe. And yeah, I think that was particularly tough. There was about sort of 6 to 10 people that remained with him.
Again, yeah? Okay, now.
What happened while I was at little, bro?
Oh, you should have seen it. Fire, gang wars. Nah, I got my legs strapped up. I'm strapped up. I know, that's some paracetamol. Tib ant's now pissed off, so like shin splinty, and knees are hurting, and fatigue is high.
TENacity was at its forefront of fundraising and awareness project for mental health. Obviously, we were raising money for CALM, Campaign Against Living Miserably, which is a UK-based suicide prevention mental health charity, where what's a really good sort of statistic around CALM is that every £12.20 raised goes towards funding a potentially life-saving helpline call. So obviously the aim of TENacity was to raise £122,000 to fund 10,000 of those helpline calls.
What's up, my brothers? Welcome to MTV Cribs. Man is down at the Leeds Beckett track.
Really appreciate it. Well done. That was needed, actually. No, great job. That was great news.
Thank you, buddy. Well done. Awesome work. Amazing.
So when we finished in Leeds, we knew this was going to be, apart from the ferry journeys, we knew this was going to be the worst logistical challenge by a long shot, but we weren't on the road until about 10:30 or 11 from memory. It's a 4.5 hour drive to Cardiff with no stops, and we were starting in the aquatic centre in Cardiff at 4:30. So if you do the maths, there's not much time there for manoeuvring. So it was we knew going into it that this was going to be the worst night of driving, and Cardiff was going to be the worst day just from a fatigue point of view. We all arrived to Cardiff probably about half an hour before actually starting.
Yeah, very nice setup.
On one side, you could say that we were getting used to it, the sort of rough sleeps, the kind of pattern of how little sleep we were getting, and also just kind of the daily routine of that swim bike run. But then I think the flip side of that was just how brutal it was getting. Sleep deprivation was definitely setting in. I was forgetting things, different members of the team were forgetting things, and I think things overall became a little bit sloppier. One thing that became quite apparent during the Cardiff run was that Fergus was moving quite a bit slower. I think he was really feeling the pain. He definitely was hiding it quite a bit during the bike, and now it cropped up during the run. So, between Chris, myself, Jamie, and sort of, Matt and Tom, we were looking at that clock thinking, there is a world in which if Fergus goes too slow here, he's going to miss that cut-off. And yeah, it was definitely difficult to sort of convey that to him without worrying him, as ultimately we just need to keep spurring him along.
That was grim. 3 hours of sleep in the back of a moving RV isn't good for a person. Who could have seen that coming? Okay, that's positive.
Bristol in particular was quite an interesting day. I think because we knew we were so close to the finish line, there was a bit of apprehension, excitement, but also just that general fatigue carrying through of the previous 8 days. So for me, Bristol was just a bit of a blur of a day.
Thank you.
Fergus's road bike, the Cervelo, the front headset is very loose, the left brake does not work at all, and the DIT shifters aren't working either, so all in all, great condition. Big challenge project. So he's got a TT bike, so he's currently on another one, but ideally he'd want to be on this one for today tomorrow.
We are going to pick up Fergus's bike.
Oh my god, is that Jamie Crawley?
Yeah, it is, bro.
No way. Can I get your autograph?
Yeah?
Are you brothers with Fergus Crawley?
Yeah.
In 24 hours you'll have just the run to go.
Why do you have to highlight that? The run's the worst part. R.I.P. shotgun Mike.
At the end of the day, if you're doing 10 Ironmans in 10 days, you're always going to be in pain. That was just inevitable. I think Fergus was actually quite lucky with when that pain struck later on in the challenge, but we always knew that was going to be a problem. Chris obviously has a huge amount of support dealing with people doing similar challenges as well. So I think there was an element of, obviously Fergus was fatigued, starting to have voices in her head where it was a bit like, is he actually going to finish this?
No way I'm timing this out.
So Fergus's quad has really started playing up to the point where he felt like he couldn't run. So he came in the van and said, look, I can't run. To which I thought, you can, you just don't want to, which is also fair enough. So he took some paracetamol, which would have just about kicked in, but came out here, put his headphones in and just kind of got on with it.
Oh, you lucky people. It's the 109th Giro d'Italia about to get off. And spectacular.
Much appreciated.
Thank you, sir. Much appreciated.
At this point, we were very, very, very tired. So obviously, final day, final sleep, I suppose, of the project. So the drive to London, albeit not the longest one, was probably one of the hardest just psychologically for the people driving.
It is currently 2:05 a.m. on the final day. Yeah, I think we're all very tired. Obviously Fergus very much so, but yeah, tough drive. And we're up in 2 hours.
For someone who is, I guess, around or in a world like this, I think it's very easy to lose sight of just doing the simple things. You know, not everything has to be a massive challenge just like this. It could just be, like I say, that short walk, that new hobby that you decide to learn. And, you know, I came off the back of Project TENacity with kind of a renewed sense of joy for exercise again. So many of the conversations I had in each of the cities during this project were exactly that. It wasn't people doing crazy feats. It was just, you know, the guy or girl that cycled to work each day, or, you know, made time for a few gym sessions a week where they really found that moving their body in any capacity helped with their mental well-being overall.
What's all over your...
Oh, you actually...
No, sealant.
Do you know what I was saying? Your legs look like mine after I got 12 hours flight.
Chestnut.
No, that's
Allegedly.
That's Mango Loco Monster.
Yeah, sure.
Well done, mate.
Thank
Now.
on the boys. I think I need fluids and lots of them.
Okay, there's half a bottle there and down that. I have that with the pills. But you like the caffeine?
I think obviously it's always a funny one with these sort of challenges, because when you actually get to the end, it is a bit of an anticlimax, because like all the hard work is done and then you kind of reach that point of knowing he's going to finish. It's just a matter of when.
$17K down, quad is holding on, so train driver.
And perhaps an overlooked point of this challenge was Fergus's dog Pig, or Odie, I think, to give him his formal name. And Pig means an awful lot to Fergus, as he was a really key part of Fergus's recovery 10 years ago. I think after attempting to take his own life, Fergus got Pig a few months after, and it really, you know, from what he's told me and the stories that he shared, it had a huge impact on his life, gave him some responsibility, gave him a reason to kind of get up and get out in the mornings, and it was really nice to have him with us. And, you know, going into the final hour, you know, we knew what distance Fergus was at, we knew there wasn't much time to go, and I think myself, Jamie, Tom and a couple others were just taking it in. You know, on the one hand, couldn't believe that we'd survived and made it through these 10 days as crew for this. But also really excited for that final moment, getting everyone together, and it was, yeah, really, really special.
I'm feeling a little bit anxious for him now, because I know what will be going through his mind, but we'll be very, very relieved for it to finish.
Even when he was in his darkest moments throughout the 10 days, there was never a moment where I was like, he's not going to do it. Yeah, it's always an interesting emotionally, because it's not how you might think it will be. It doesn't quite hit you at that moment. It sort of hits you a few days after, when you can actually take a step back and reflect. But yeah, all in all, obviously hugely proud of him and what he's achieved over the 10 years, and sort of the journey he's gone from what was his darkest moment in life through to what was a monumental achievement, and one he'll look back on forever, and many other people will look back on forever. On average, we probably had about 2 hours of sleep a night. We did about 1,600 miles of driving across the 10 days, across 4 countries, and obviously navigating the ferries and the late night drives as well. It's quite easy to see Fergus doing the project, doing the Ironmans itself, and then forget what goes on behind the scenes, but a huge shift, and one which I still reflect on now with kind of how the fuck did we do that? Because beforehand we knew it was going to be bad, but I don't think any of us didn't quite realise how bad it was going to be. And yeah, driving under fatigue, speaking to people in public under fatigue, trying to be efficient under fatigue is obviously a massive challenge, and puts into perspective how important sleep is, I suppose.
Class.
Yeah, all good?
Thank you very much.
No problem.